you're working on an interesting project right now. Maybe maybe you can tell a little bit about it.
Yeah, it's related to the pandemic. I work in the interfaith field as well in communications, and well, the pandemic I think brought something sociologically very interesting. Of course, you can see it from many angles, but I will tell you something that an image that brings to me from the time where I was a kid. I remember when I was a kid, I used to like UFO movies, alien movies and alien TV series. And when you see all these movies, even Independence Day, like later movies when I was not a kid any longer, they all start in the same way. Life is going on in the world as usual. Everyone is there doing their own business. And suddenly something appears in the sky everywhere. And it's always the same scene. You see Rome, New York, Jerusalem, and everyone suddenly looks at the same place. And that's the interesting shift that this pandemic is that we are all living it differently. It's not that it equalizes because, of course, if you're in quarantine in a big house with a garden, you're not having the same time that a person, I don't know, is living in a shanty town in India or in Argentina and, doesn't have space. But there's one thing that is common to all, that is we are all paying attention to the same thing. We're all focused on the same thing. It's like the spaceship in the sky. Of course, the spaceship is a metaphor. It's like something you suddenly realize all this you are going about in your everyday life, it's not what's relevant. There is a shift suddenly, and, it is definitely an opportunity to, when you shift your consciousness, you suddenly start seeing things you were not seeing before. This is the basic, in mindfulness, in any basic consciousness work. For instance, a basic meditation exercise, you pay attention to breath. Breath is something that is there all the time, but you're not noticing, you're not conscious of. Once you pay attention to something that is so central and so important, so unconscious, you realize that the ego, what Dr. Laitman calls the ego, that this thing, that it's not reality, that really the essence is somewhere else. And that's the exercise I think we all should be doing. I'm not sure we are doing it with enough depth, but I trust that the universe, God, knows what he's doing. So
should we, Dr. Laitman, should we wait for the universe, or do we need to do something? Like, what is the role of Jewish people now in the middle of this pandemic, where we've seen them?
Leo, before that, let me say one thing about the Jews in relation to...
אני רוצה שהחבר שלנו יסגור את הדברים האלה עם קורונה-וירוס.
I hope you remember this with the coronavirus, that it appeared out of the sky, so to speak. This virus that we are in right now, it's something also as if it came from the depth of nature, so to speak, and it suddenly appeared on everyone, and everyone's looking at it as if up on the sky, to the sky. And then what happens? What do you think?
Okay, so finish the thought, Dario.
So there's one thing that brought to my mind when this thing about that it has to start with the Jews. And I like to see things, it's not that I disagree with that, but I would look at it in a symbolic way. And I make this clarification because I think not everyone in the audience or out there in general look at things symbolically. Sometimes they take things literally, and that could create confusion. So if we take in symbolic terms, and as Dr. Laitman says, a Jew, Yehudi, is a Yehudi, is someone who unifies. And if we understand ego as something that is separated from the whole of you, basically, then whoever is not unifying, and if you understand Jew for that, whoever is not unifying is creating a problem. So it has to start by the unifiers. But I say...
Well, the question is, who is doing this? According to our foundation, only those who are drawn to connection with others. And today, it no longer matters if you're a Jew or from any other faith or nation in the world. Those who are drawn toward unity are called Jews. Those who object to it and follow their egos are called non-Jews, Gentiles, nations of the world. That's it.
Okay, it's an interesting definition. I just made the clarification because I fully, I think it's a possible definition, but I'm not sure everyone takes that definition. So I think it's important for, because basically what you're saying is anyone who is drawn to the unity, and I think that could be anyone in the world. I mean, it's not up to me or to anyone to say, because everyone knows what's their, what's their drive, or they don't know. Of course. They have to.
He is called Jew. Anyone who's drawn toward unity, because that's what happened in the days of Abraham. So what's changed? You can take a person from any place in the world, from any nation, faith, belief system, you name it. If he agrees to unite with others, to be in connection with others, from that moment on, he is called Jewish, a Jew, Yehudi. He's called Yehudi.
Yeah, we see that our great Rabbi Akiva, who came up with the lovely friend as yourself, right? Not a Jew originally, a lot of non-Jews who came into the Jewish fold over the years. So